He's actually a European. I think I might have been the only European up until this stage. He's a European of Swedish and Italian descent. He was a soccer player. He was a professional soccer player. But then moved himself to a place where actually he never quite achieved the levels that he was looking to within soccer, to now earning a soccer player's income from direct selling. Now although he's a very, very active recruiter, one of the top recruiters in his company, his team do have an average of 10 customers per distributor, which is, a really, really great statistic. Now, he was very time limited when he started in direct selling because he was playing football and he was working on the side as well. So he proved that you can build this business part-time with 10, 12, 15 hours a week. Now, he has a great energy, he has a really positive attitude. So I want you to pretend for one moment that this is your first time on the Mastermind stage. And I want you to give him that energy as we please welcome Marco Passanante!
Should have been 20 minutes ago. Why do I even do this? I have my soccer, I have my job, call life enough to deal with these kind of people. Spent 2 months with his business, made $200. Maybe my friends were right. I was naive to believe this could work. That's, of course, what we call a secret meeting. And I believe secret meeting is probably one of the most important meetings within your career, within this industry. Because the secret meeting has 2 parts to it. Actually, it's 2 secret meetings within one. The first one, you saw the physical one. But then the second secret meeting is probably even more important. And that's the secret meeting up here. The self-talk, right? So it's a combination of secret meeting, but it's actually the secret meeting inside, which I call the secret talk, that determines how your future will be. If you ever get to where you want to go. So, how do you respond when you get a secret meeting? Or when the mic drops? You just do a good self-talk, so you're on the back. You let those kind of things affect you. And the talk I had sitting there is actually a talk I had with myself almost 10 years ago, when I've been in this industry for 2 months. I made $40 my first month. And I was already working 10 hours a day. I was playing soccer. So I was really starting to questioning if this was worth my time. But what I learned to deal with during the secret meetings was the voice in my head. I had this big martial art guy starting in my business, and huge black belted, great guy that he was disciplined, he was strong mentally, said, you will build this huge. He gave it 2 weeks, 6.4 guy, black belted, one secret meeting, knockout. So he could deal with a physical secret meeting, but he couldn't deal with a secret meeting, secret talk. So what happened was, I call it VICT. And this, I remind myself always, during hard days, because we all have them, we all have that voice up here who tells us that, no, but I did a good job last week, this week I can take time off, this week I can relax, or you told yourself you're gonna go to the gym, but you don't because you let your self-talk justify why you don't have to go today. So the thing I call it very important character test, or very important communication trial in your head. Because this determines if you can't learn to catch that negative voice. We all have it. The only difference is when it comes, can you learn to catch it and be more supportive to yourself? I couldn't in the beginning, so I went there was a lot of up and downs. But once I learned to control that, I started seeing better results in my life, within my career. So many of you, when that negative voice comes, often it's because of circumstances or outer factors. So we let that voice pull us down, which means we become victims of our circumstances. But once you can learn to discipline yourself, that self-talk, and understand, one guy told me once, when I was a little negative in the beginning, I responded in a negative way, was blaming outer circumstances. And I'm happy I had this mentor told me that stop being a victim to circumstances, because it's not what happens to you that determines how you feel. It's really how you respond to what happens. And he told me, you know that your brain can't hold a positive and a negative thought at the same time? I said, no. I thought, that's true. I don't know. I can. He said, no, but try it. If you become conscious and aware of that, you can really replace that negative thought. When you learn to catch that voice in your head, that is when you can, instead of letting circumstances, self-talk, make you a victim of circumstances, that's when you can really start becoming a victor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, now I can actually move. So you see, that was a great example of self-talk. It happened, didn't let me affect me. Of course, in my head, what is this? What is it? Focus on the right things. That was a great example. It was actually not staged. So do you let them become victim or victor? Because the secret meeting is so you have a chance to really start talking to yourself. Or actually, you have that voice always up here talking to you. When you learn to control that voice, I always say, when you win here, you win in your life. When you win here, you win in life. So, I've heard Randy Gage speak for many, many years, and yesterday he shared a story about the guy who printed the flyers and all of this. And I had one of my stories today, was exactly that story. So I thought, should I take this off? It sounds like I copied him, but it's my real story. Then I thought, no, I should share it because this is what will happen. This is what you have to go through if you want to be successful. So 5 years ago almost, I was partially living in Florida at the time, and I had this excited young guy in Washington. It's called him Jed. So Jed was excited, wanted me to come, and through distance, through online meetings stuff, we had got 3 distributors in his group. So I talked to all the 4. We planned this meeting in Washington. I booked my flights. They were sure they're going to fill, just with their contacts, at least 100 people. So I fly up to Washington the day before to do some meetings with Jed's contacts. And he told me that the room is for 100 people, but I think I need to call the hotel to get a bigger room. Jed, I love you're so ambitious, you think big, but how many have you invited? Yeah, me and the 3 guys, between us, we have like 80 people, and the room is for 100. But I printed flyers, and they have been walking around Washington giving strangers flyers. So then I thought, like, because I've heard Randy's speech before, this story. So I started laughing so much within myself, like, those stories, they're real. We all have to go through them. And already there I started realizing, like, this is scary, similar to his own story, because I've heard it many years ago share that story. So we came to the event. It was Jed and his 3 distributors. We met 40 minutes before, we had a talk, and the time it was supposed to start, there was not a single soul outside of these 4 guys. Jed and his 3 distributors. So I think I must be the only one. I have 4 people inviting, working towards a business opportunity meeting. And 5 past, Jed asked me, Marco, do you think anybody will come? Probably not. Hopefully nobody will come. He said, what do you mean? Yeah, because if we have 1 guest, we have to do a presentation for them. But I think we were lucky that nobody came because we need to talk about some details here in how you're operating your business, how you're inviting, how you're promoting. So we did a training there, and actually 3 other guys quit. Jed continued, and 2 months later he actually was qualified for a car bonus in the company. So how do you respond to that? And that determines if you become a victim or victor. So how do you have effective secret meetings? That was an example of one, training. But when I sit alone, like it's 3 weeks ago, sitting in Barcelona where I live, had a secret meeting. And today I laughed because I feel like James Bond, secret agent. Secret meetings, I'm cool. But I learned to either I bring paperwork, boring work that I wouldn't normally do at home, that I don't take time for. So then I have 1 hour with nothing booked because secret meeting means I have a slot of 30 or 60 minutes to do whatever I need to do. So you can either do boring paperwork, or you can call and book new meetings. So use that to be effective. That's a gift. So 3 weeks ago in Barcelona, I had this African man passing by asking if I want, in the coffee, he walked in, he wanted to sell napkins. And I told him I don't need the napkins, but I gave him money. I said, keep them, sell them to someone else, and gave him some money. I was sitting there, we walked around the coffee place. Then he was passing by. I thought I need to take this out to learn something new. I said, oh, excuse me, sir. Okay, have a seat, please. He sat down, and I asked him, do you want something to eat? Bought him some food, had a coffee, and we talked about life. He shared his story, grew up in Nigeria, wanted a better life, so he came to Spain because his parents sadly passed away. And he talked about how another guy from his country had met in Barcelona and let him stay there for 120 euros a month. And he said, I'm working every day so hard so I can have this 120 euros per month. He said, I want that job, I want to work, but I need 120 to avoid staying on the streets. So I got one lesson there to appreciate what I got, but also I gave him some money, bought him food, he had a phone, so I took his WhatsApp, because I asked him, what kind of work have you done? He said, whatever, I can paint, I can clean, I worked in a factory, whatever there is, because I'm willing to work. And I told him, I'm so impressed of you. The work you're doing is not easy. Walking around, asking strangers, some napkins, walking to coffee places. I told him, you're a fighter. So because of a secret meeting, I came home, and asked my girlfriend, I came home so happy. Because by helping another person, of course, that give somebody something that they can never give something in return, that makes me happy. But also I got a gift. I came home, looked at our penthouse, our pool there, everything. I told her, do you understand how lucky we are, how happy we should be, appreciating we should be for what we have? Here we have a man probably working harder than I do, and he just need $120 to stay off the street, or euros. So I'm going to contact him when I get back on the meeting, see if I want to help him in some way. So think about also the industry we have, what I can help him. If I can help him earn 300 euros a month, he will have an amazing life, and he will be so happy and appreciative. So back again to talk about what they've been talking about yesterday. Stop making people feel stupid if they're not making 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 a month. And what I'm going to leave you with is this. You've probably heard about Einstein's relativity theory. How many have heard about Einstein's relativity theory? Yeah. This is Passanante's success theory. Upper line, underline, upper line equals D. Upper line is when you're motivated. Underline is when you don't really feel like doing the job. Then motivation equals D. D is discipline. So I want to leave you with the secret to success that I've seen and worked with thousands of people all over the world and all the continents, is that the days you don't feel like doing the job is the days that determines if you will live a happy life, successful life. And for me, success is happiness. Because happiness is health, relationship, financial part. It's a balance of all of it. So if you don't have the discipline, then you will see it in your health, in your relationship. For example, a long day at work, you have drama at work. With bad discipline, you get home, you're irritated because of that. The negative voice comes, like it does for all of us. But you're not disciplined enough to catch it, replace it, so you treat your spouse a little better when you get home, and then you think it's bad luck or because of them they leave you after 8 years of bad discipline. You can see it in every part of your life, if you have discipline or not. So I want you to ask yourself one thing. I want you to write down one thing, a question. And that is, what do I do the days I don't feel like it? Because success in life and happiness, health, good relationships, it's just small disciplines over time. Everybody up here on the stage is human beings. They have that negative voice coming, but they learn to control it. We all have those demons. So with that, remember that the secret to the secret meeting is that it's a secret to your success. Ciao, ciao, ciao.